Hi, Jim Rader here again, writer at large, and this is part two of my story, October 1971. And I should mention that the novel as stories from which it is extracted um, is unpublished. That is entitled As We Go Through the Years. And this is part two. On Saturday morning, Tucker and Laura returned to Yellow Springs, Ohio. My unemployment check turned up, giving me enough money to live on until I moved to Fair Lawn, New Jersey, to the dissipated old man and his ever-coddling mother. I dreaded calling the old man, the weighty task of giving him a post-funeral notice on my shoulders. After the young couple's departure, Soon came over and heard out my anxiety. "I'll call your father, Jim. You took care of your sister at the funeral, and throughout this whole thing you've been acting like a real man." This riff, this riff momentarily brought back that old sickly excitement, offset by Sue's asexual history. Sue had never slept with a man. She possibly had never romantically kissed a man. I flashed back to Mr. Nice Guy and failed suitor Bobby Mott, a short man with close-cropped black hair, thick eyebrows, and a ready smile. Bobby had grown up on North End's French Street with Ma and Sue. Periodically, he made feckless stabs at courting Sue. I met him when I was 7. Then well into his 30s, Bobby lived in Trumbull, visited Sue and Grandma Brown twice a year or so to rehash old times, the good old days of the Depression and World War II. The one time I met Bobby, his last visit with Sue. Bobby oozed vitality, health, optimism, didn't drink or smoke. Sue liked that. And he amused her, always with the jokes. Sue liked Bobby, but, quote, never in that way, unquote. Although sociable enough, he couldn't lead her, let alone flirt with her, so he lost and she let him lose. The old man's take on the failed union. He wanted her so bad and she gave him the cold shoulder. But the old man, consistently biased against Sue, oversimplified. Bobby's adult facade, his breezy 1940s cinematic charm, failed to hide his permanent boyhood. He still looked like a boy and still came off like a boy, still joked with Sue as if in their childhood schoolyard. Naturally, at 7 years old, I got along with him. Thinking about Bobby Mott cut off any taboo feeling as I hugged my aunt. Death was sad, and so was life. Sue and I had work to do that day, trips to the Goodwill bin and Bridgeport's city dump. As we packed discards, Sue, deaf to rock and jazz, suggested I part with my many vinyl records. "No way, Sue, no way. Without those records, I'm dead." "Jim, you can't take everything to New Jersey in Reverend Coachella's car." She took my arm. "How about parting with some of your older records?" "Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can think of several right now. Phyllis is going to swing by Monday to pick up the easy chairs on the couch. You know, for her thrift store in Danbury. She'll take some records. You know Phyllis, don't you?" "Oh, Lord, Jim, she was a good Protestant, but I haven't seen her in years and years." Grandma Brown accompanied us for the Herculean task, her back allowing only token effort. Sue and I packed all manner of useless items for discard, i.e., Ma's ashtrays, she'd quit smoking in 1957, her old dishes, knickknacks, shot rugs, Ma's remaining clothes. Maura had taken some dresses and shoes, which were not her style. She took them for remembrance rather than use. A pair of brand new green shoes provoking more tears. She thought she would live. A 2-foot stack of old Life magazines. Christmas stuff. Sue grabbed Ma's valuable rings, a move that subsequently kicked off a 20-year feud with Maura. We squeezed this evocative junk into 4 plastic trash bags. Their final resting place is marked by Sue's black magic marker. 3 bags went into her white Duster's trunk, the 4th bag next to Grandma Brown in the back seat. Grandma Brown broke a quiet spell. "What are you going to do for money now, Jim? You can't collect unemployment checks forever, and you should pay for your keep in Fairlawn." "Well, I can get a printing job in New York," I said. "Fairlawn is much closer to New York." Silently, Sue drove to the Goodwill bin, and we unloaded 2 bags. Stupidly, I talked. "You know, Ma was only 50. That's way too young to pass away." "Well, you killed her," said Sue. I turned to laugh in her face. "Christ, you're being ridiculous. Cancer killed her." Her face reddened. She drove on to the dump. Another warm day, we sweated from both labor and turmoil. She parked the Duster, and we walked to the dump, a trash bag over my shoulder. "You look like Santa Claus, Jim." "Ho, ho, ho, merry garbage and a trashy New Year," I bellowed. We threw the bags into a half-full pit of discards, the reserved woman smiling reluctantly. The weather turned cooler the last week of October. With the furniture gone excepting my bed and a kitchen chair, the Baroness depressed, and I avoided the apartment, killed time downtown in the mall or the library, hung out at the Farini's most evenings. Reverend Coachello phoned one morning to check in on me, and I assured him I would live through the change if it killed me. On departure's eve, Joe's old man broke out the King William IV scotch and sat with us at the kitchen table, the radio tuned to New York's hippest FM station, WNEW. I disliked most of Paul McCartney's latest album, Ram, but previously unheard track, Dear Boy, took me out of my stunned, distracted state as I heard loss and sentiment in the music. "Who is this song about?" I asked Joe. "Did Paul's father die?" "No, it's about John Lennon." His revelation didn't ruin the random fleeting healing of the musical moment. The lyric's real subject didn't matter. I left Bridgeport on a bright windy day, yellow and orange leaves blowing beneath the towering dark GE building on Boston Avenue. And that is the end of my story. I'm sure that you'll be able to find part 1 lurking around somewhere if you came across this first. And I hope you found the story interesting. I appreciate any comments, pro or con, as long as they're rational. And thank you.